ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्वोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् आचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. So Karika number 11, page number 55. कार्यकारणबद्धौ तौ इष्येते विश्वतैजसौ प्राज्ञः कारणबद्धस्तु द्वौ तौ तुर्येण सिद्ध्यतः. So introducing this Karika, Bhashyakara says on the fifth line, Vishwadinam samanya vishesha bhavaha nirupyate Turiya yathatmya avadharanartham. So, Gaudapada ji is, Turiya yathatmya avadharanartham. In order to ascertain avadharanartham, yathatmya, sarupa. In order to ascertain the nature of Turiya yathatmya. Gaudapada ji introduces a very unique method, which understanding that method will give us a clarity of Turiya. And why you need a clarity in knowing the nature of the Turiya? Because Turiya ultimately is free from samsara. Turiya, the nature of Turiya is it is free. And you take yourself to be baddha all the time. And therefore the aham, the I, the atma is Turiya, which is free from samsara at this moment. When person says, I am a samsari, Swamiji, I am having a tremendous anxiety, I am having a tremendous fear, I am having a tremendous apprehension, this, that, etc. When he says he is free at that time itself, means the nature of Turiya is not clear. So, Gaudapada ji wants to wants to see that, well, you should know Turiya very clearly. The nature of Turiya should be clear to you. And in order to ascertain that nature of Turiya clearly, he introduces a method. It's called Samanya Vishesha Bhavaha. So, and this is not there in Upanishad. He himself introduces. Acharya, basically is aware of all the methods in tradition. So he introduces this particular method. And that is, say, comparing and contrasting this turiya, the fourth pada, with the three, in comparing and contrasting. On one side three, on the other side there is a fourth, right? So compares and contrast. Thereby you become clear of the fourth, that is turiya. So comparing means here what are the common features between this three and this one, and what is the contrast? Well, ultimately uncommon features. In Tarkashastra it is called sadharmya vaidharmya bhavaha. Sadharmya. So samana dharmata. Right? Sadharmya. Tasya bhavaha sadharmya. And vaidharmya. Viruddha bhava. Viruddha dharmas. Sorry. Vaidharmya means a viruddha dharma. It's called vidharma. Tasya bhavaha vaidharmya. So, viruddha dharma means uncommon. Dharma means features, attributes. Uncommon attributes and common attributes. So this is how then you become clear what is this fourth. Anyway, and so karya karana baddhautau ishyete vishwataijasau prajna karana baddhastu dvautau turyena siddhyatah. So Vishwa and Tejasa are common in the sense both of them baddhau. Karya karana baddhau tau, Vishwa Tejasau. So Vishwa and Tejasa are common in the sense that both are baddhau, both are conditioned. Both of them are conditioned by what? Karya karana baddhau. Both of them are conditioned. Karya karane. So karya karana abhyam baddhau. Let's say Trutiya, that Purusha. Karya karana abhyam baddhau Vishwa Tejasau. Etc. So, basically Vishwa and Tejasa are conditioned by Karya and Karana. What is Karya Karana has a very special meaning in Mandukya. Common meaning we know, that also we see first general meaning of Karya Karana, and then Mandukya gives us another meaning of Karya Karana. That is very, very different. Anyway. So they are associated, these two, Karya and Vishwa and Tejasa, waker and the dreamer, are associated with Karya Karana, or conditioned by, or enclosed by. Ultimately it is Turiya only. So Turiya is called waker, Turiya is dreamer, means some upadhi is there, some condition. So because of that, anyway, so both cause and effect, both are associated with cause and effect. So Turiya alone with this cause and effect is a waker. Turiya alone with the cause and effect is this Tejasa. And Turiya with the cause alone is this Prajna. Prajna karana baddha. Turiya is called Prajna because of a upadhi, condition. So when Turiya is conditioned, associated with, enclosed with, avachedavada, enclosed with this cause, then the same Turiya we call it as a Prajna. When Turiya is associated, enclosed with Karya and Karana, both, then we will call either waker or dreamer. And what about Turiya? This you talked about this three. What about Turiya? Dvau tau. Dvau tau. Tau dvau. This cause and effect, Karya Karana, Turiye, with respect to Turiya, na siddhyataha. Turiya is devoid of cause and effect. It is not associated. It is not enclosed. It is not conditioned by this cause and effect. What is cause and effect? That we have to see now. Yeah. So one explanation that we know as such, which is a general meaning, then we'll see the special meaning which is given in the Mandukya. So what is the general meaning? Well, based on our previous knowledge. So if you take these three bodies of the individual, then we have a Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. And Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira are Karyam, right? And Karana Sharira is Karanam, that is way, right? Sthula Sukshma Sharira are Karya. Why Karya? Because ultimately it is they are created, Sthula and Sukshma. They are product, both of them are born. One is born again and again in a given cycle of creation. Sthula Sharira is born and gone, very short lived. Sukshma Sharira is throughout the one cycle of creation. Of course, undergoes change. Sukshma Sharira is not died as such, it undergoes a change depending upon, in keeping with the Sthula Sharira. Yeah. Sukshma Sharira leaves Sthula Sharira and enters a new Sthula Sharira depending upon a type of the Sthula Sharira. So it undergoes a change. Therefore, that is also basically a fact, and that is due to prarabdha. So you get a Sukshma Sharira accordingly, keeping with the Sthula, and therefore Sthula also prarabdha janya, Sukshma also prarabdha janya. Anyway, so that is naturally, both of them are born and therefore they are product. And Karana Sharira basically is never a product, we know very well. Anadi, Anirvachaniya, Avidya, we know. Anadi, over. What is Anadi? What is beginningless? It means Karana, beginning. Karyam has a beginning. Karyam has a Adi. This Karana Sharira is Anadi, means definitely it is not born. It is there. So Karana Sharira is Karanam, it is not a Karyam. And now, let's see again. Vishwa Taijasau Karya Karana Baddhau. Okay? And therefore, Vishwa is associated with Karyam, means Sthula and Sukshma, naturally. So, in a waking state, Vishwa, definitely the waker, is associated with Sthula, Sukshma, Karyam and Karana. Karya Karana Baddhau. Vishwa Taijasau. Therefore, Sthula is associated with the the Vaker is associated with the Sthula Sharira, and Sukshma Sharira means associated with the Karyam. Also, Karana Sharira is definitely there, and therefore, the Vaker is associated with Karya Karana. Same Turiya, your Atma, no change has occurred, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. This is just a process for understanding. Don't think Turiya has undergone a change. Nothing has happened. Like the space, same space, due to association with a part, is called part space, or space which is conditioned, so-called conditioned by part. Space is never conditioned by the part. Cannot be conditioned. You know very well. Because even before a part is created on the will, space is right there. And therefore, as the part wall is created, well, we say part space is created. Really speaking, there is no part space created as such. You know very well. So, same Turiya, unchanging Turiya. Well, due to this Upadhi, called Sthula, Sukshma, etc., well, and Karana Sharira, of course. So, Vaker is associated with all the three. Two are Karyam, one is Karana. And Vishwa Taijasa, so Taijasa also, right? The Taijasa, well, the dreamer, you can say right now, the dreamer also is associated with Karya Karana. Dreamer is associated with the subtle body and Karana Sharira. Subtle body is Karya and Karana Sharira, of course, is there. And therefore, Vishwa Taijaso Karya Karana Baddhau. So, both of them, Vaker and Dreamer, are associated with Karyam and Karanam. And here, Karya Karana, we understand. Sthula Sukshma Karyam, Karana Sharira is Karanam. Whereas Prajna is what? Karanabadha. Prajna is to Karanabadha. Prajna is neither associated with the Karya, means Sthula Sharira or Sukshma Sharira. Prajna is just associated with the Karana Sharira. The deep sleeper is associated with Karanashaya. Same Turiya. You look Turiya from the angle of Karana Sharira. So you give a name, different name, called Prajna. But the is conditioned, and conditioned, associated, all this, enclosed, all these are really not there, very well. Because there is nothing other than Turiya. All that is there is just Turiya, Brahman. All that is there is Atma. And therefore all this is, it is within the realm of all our experiences. These are all within the realm of experiences, waker, dreamer, these are. Okay, so first line is explained. And second line also partly explained. Prajnastu karanavaddaha. Then dvautau turyena siddhyataha. Turiya is not dvautau, this karya karana, this karya and karana. Turiya is not associated with karya and karana because Turiya is basically sharira traya vilakshanam, right? So when you look at Turiya, you find only Turiya. Where is part space? When you look at the space, there is no part space. Yeah. When you look at the part space is pervaded by a whole space and etc. etc. There is a so-called part space, Vyashti, and there is a Mahakasha, etc. There is outer Akasha, inner Akasha, and all that. So from the standpoint of the part, really speaking, when you look at the space, you don't find a part space different, distinct from that. So there is no part called part space as such. There is just space. There is one undivided space. Same way when you look at Turiya, you don't find all these things, Karya, Karana, etc. It is free from all the three bodies. So this is one approach based on Sharira. Now in Mandukya, the same thing is looked at a little differently. What? We have to start with deep sleep now. There we started with the waking state and then dream state and deep sleep state. Now here, to understand Karya Karana from the angle of a Mandukya, we'll start with the deep sleep state. So during deep sleep state, we have to, I'm ignorant of myself, that I am a Turiya, I'm not aware of. So Turiya Jnanam is there in a sleep, but only ignorance is there, correct? So we can call as a non-apprehension of oneself. This is a word used by Swami Chinmayanji, apprehension, non-apprehension, misapprehension, like that. Non-recognition, okay? Non-recognition. And misrecognition is not there, but anyway, but there is a non-recognition, not understanding oneself, okay? So this is a deep sleep state in which I don't know that I am Turiya. No misconception. And then, so it's ignorance only, ajnana matram. Whereas in waking and dream, what? Not only I am ignorant of the fact that I am Turiya, but I am also associated with a misconception. And that is, I claim that I am a waker, I am a dreamer, I am a Vishwa or I am a Tejasa. So, and not that, further you have to take it. Not just you, nobody says I am just a waker, right? Everyone says more than that. In fact, no one says I am waker. You are aware that you are waker, but you never say. You say a lot of other things. I am uncle, auntie, this, that, etc. Or husband, wife, this, that. So many things you say. All misconception about oneself. Unless you say you are Turiya, whatever you say has no meaning, really speaking, from the Shastra standpoint. It's all misconception about oneself. So anyway, it's a huge list. You will also say, I am a Brahmana, Kshatriya, this, that. If you are Indian, you will say also this. Or even from the country standpoint, I am an Indian or American, whatever. So all is a misconception. So, or we can say Adhyasa. So they are, why, Ajnanam all is also there, Adhyasa also is there in these two states. in a waking state and dream state. Whereas in a deep sleep state, just ajnanam is there. That's it. So ajnanam is a karanam. Adhyasa is karyam. Right? So, Rajju ajnanam and sarpadhyasa. Rajju is not a cause for sarpa. You know very well. Rajju is not a cause. How come Rajju becomes a cause for sarpa? If Rajju becomes a cause for the sarpa, snake, means we cannot keep any rope in the home. Because someday that rope will generate effect. Rope will generate what? Snake. Oh, therefore, we don't want to keep rope in the home. Rajju Ajnanam is the cause for the sarpa. And therefore, Ajnanam is called Karanam from Mandukya. And Karyam is what? Adhyasa. Naturally, Adhyasa is the effect, ignorance is the cause. And therefore, from that angle, Vishwa, the waker, is associated with two. Well, what? Fill in the blanks. Vishwa is associated with what? Ajnanam and Adhyasa. Therefore, Ajnanam, Karanam, and Adhyasa, Karyam. Therefore, Vishwa is Karya Karana Baddha. Taijasa also is Karya Karana Baddha. Because ignorance is there. And also Adhyasa. What is Adhyasa? I am dreamer. That's your experience. I am a dreamer. Experiencing dream world. Therefore, both these states, therefore, if you take now Mandukya angle, how will you say Vishwataijasau Karya Karana Baddhau? So Vishwataijasu Karya Karana Baddhau means Vishwa and Taijasa are associated with ignorance and Adhyasa. Right? That was our general convention, our general way of understanding Karya Karana is Karyam means which is a product, which is generated, and Karanam, which is the cause for that, right? And that way, out of three shariras, two shariras are Karyam, Sthula and Sukshma, and Karana Sharira is a Karanam, right? So that way, that's a general understanding. But in case of, same Karya Karana with reference to Mandukya Upanishad means Karanam means ignorance, Karyam means Adhyasa. That way, Vishwa and Tejasa has both. When I say I am Vishwa, I am waker, there is a ignorance of the Turiya as well as there is a Adhyasa of wakerhood on Turiya. Same way, Tejasa also, Karya, Karana, ignorance and Adhyasa. Whereas deep sleep, while Prajna is just associated with ignorance only. So this combination, just Karanam basically, just ignorance is there is no issue. But when Adhyasa comes, there is an issue. So therefore combination, Ajnana and Adhyasa creates a problem in a waking state. And in dream state also. Sukha Dukkha will be there, experiencing some dream objects. So samsara arises due to that. So ignorance alone can never create a problem. Therefore, prajna has no problem at all. So when we sleep, we also become free from the problem, and we make others also free from the problem. This person is very demanding. Sometimes it happens in the home, out of husband, wife, one is, especially husband is very demanding. And he doesn't allow her to sit. He will say, you make this for me, you make this, you bring this for me, all the time. And when he goes to sleep, she also feels a relief. Children also, it happens. They all the time, they ask this, that, and they cry and all that. And that's how mother, what she does, she tries to make his child sleep. When child goes to sleep, child also is free from problems, samsara, and mother also is free from problems. So just ignorance is a bliss. That's very true. Anyway, only when adhyasa comes, misconception comes, well then samsara arises. That's how Shankaracharya ji never wrote Ajnana Bhashyam. So Shankaracharya ji wrote Adhyas Bhashyam on a Brahma Sutra. So all the sutras, Brahma Sutra means what? All the sutra has a one subject matter, that is Brahman. Right? That's called Brahma Sutra. Yoga Sutra means what? All the sutras have a has a one subject matter called yoga, Patanjali Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. So this is how Nyaya Sutra. All the sutras have a one subject matter called Nyaya, logic. Same way here. All the sutras have one subject matter called Brahman. Brahman means that is Atma. You have to take it. There cannot be Brahman without Atma. Where is Brahman without you? There is no more Brahman. If you are not Brahman, there is no Brahman. Understand this very well. If you are not Brahman, there is no Brahman. If it excludes you, where is Brahman? Brahman which is all pervading, whole. Therefore, if you are out of that whole, there will be a hole, H-O-L-E in the whole. Okay? That cannot happen. So you have to understand. Just it's based on a common sense. If there is a Brahman, something as a whole, Purnam, well, definitely it includes me. And oh, it is Chaitanya. Oh, then I am a conscious being without asking to anybody in this world. No means of knowledge you have to use. What means of knowledge you have to use to say that I am a conscious being? You won't wait even. By the time I finish my question, who are you? You will say I am a conscious being. You are not to ask anybody, you are not to use any pramana at all. You are aparoksham that way, conscious beings, you are aparoksha. You have that knowledge, you are a conscious being. Immediate knowledge you have. Therefore, if Brahman is consciousness and I am a conscious being, well then definitely I am a consciousness. No, I am part of the whole. You cannot be a part of the whole. Whole must be partless. Addition of parts will make the thing with parts. Addition of parts can never make whole. Addition of parts can never make whole. Whatever the big it is. It could be a stellar system. It could be a solar system. It could be anything in this world. The thing which is made up of parts can never be whole. A whole must be partless. If that is the case, I am not part of the whole, part of Brahman. Then in that case, what? I am whole. Then if I am Brahman, I am whole. Well, that I don't appreciate it. I don't have that experience, Swami. You have experience that you are whole. What's your dimension in a deep sleep state? Yeah, free from all limitations of time, space and everything, attributes. What are the attributes in deep sleep state of yourself? Where is time? Where is space? You are there, but where is time? Please show us. You are a conscious being. Are you conscious of time and space in a deep sleep state? No. So time, space has resolved. You are timeless. You are Brahman. Yeah, it is proven. Okay, it's so simple to prove. But it takes number of years to draw. Adhyasa. That's the thing. Yeah. Experientially you just drop it. But in a waking state, well, not knowing really your nature, whatever is adhyasa, you take it as yourself. That creates all issues, samsara. And therefore, turiya is basically free from, uncontaminated, unaffected by this adhyasa. Adhyasa can never affect adhisthana. Never. Mithyatvat. Nahi adhyastasya gunena doshena va anumatrena api sambadhyate. Bhashyakara's very beautiful statement elsewhere, not here, but it is very, very, very famous. So anyway, so karyam in a Karika now, here in Mandukya, karyam we will henceforth translate as adhyasa. And karana, misconception, and karana will be translated as ignorance. Ignorance of what? Turiya. Adhyasa on what? turiya. Adhyasa means what, Swami? Anirvachaniya. Adhyasa means what? Name form. That's it. Adhyasa means what? Jagat. Adhyasa means what? Body. Same thing. Anirvachaniya. Why anirvachaniya? Because it is not shunyam, therefore anirvachaniya. But if it is not shunyam, then it is real. No, it is not real also. Then it is shunyam. No, it is not shunyam also. That is how anirvachaniyam. That's how it is. Just because you experience there is a waker. So, okay, anirvachaniya. Whatever you experience is anirvachaniya. Whatever you experience is anirvachaniya. Whatever you experience is adhyaropa. That's it. You experience Swami now? Yes. Adhyaropa. On what? On me. Hey, Swami, I am seer, you are seen. Where is adhyaropa? You are different, I am different. No, I am not talking the seer. The very seer and the seen, both are adhyaropa. On you, the real you. That is consciousness. Both. Consciousness is ever free from both. Swamiji, you are not adhyaropa on me. Yeah, this is adhyaropa I am saying. Okay? Yeah. The very I thought is adhyaropa. Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa means what? The content in and through all over is just turiya, turiya, turiya. If all that is there is turiya, why we use seer and everything? That is called adhyaropa. Okay? So all that is there is clay, then why we call pot? Adhyaropa. This is several ways we can explain this. Several ways. Please understand that. So this is how then you will enjoy. Adhyaropa means still you feel that it is a very real thing. I will have to pull it out. You cannot pull out the pot from the clay. How will you pull out? What is the pulling out? It is not an entity at all. A name form is just superimposed. That's it. Due to ignorance. So Ajnanam is Karanam, Adhyasa is Karyam. All that is there is just one Turiya. Advaitam. Shantam Shivam, Advaitam. Without becoming second, it appears all that waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. There is no satta. Other than your experience, factually which is not there, experientially which is there, is anirvachaniya, mithya. So, let's go to Bhashyam now. Karyam kriyate iti phalabhavah. Karanam karoti iti bijabhavah. Tattva agrahana anyatha grahanabhyam बीजफलभावाभ्याम तौ यथोक्तौ विश्वतैजसौ बद्धौ संगृहीतौ इष्येते प्राज्ञस्तु बीजभावेन एव बद्धः. This is on page 56. तत्व अप्रतिबोध मात्रम एव हि बीजम प्राज्ञत्वे निमित्तम. ततः द्वौ तौ बीजफलभावौ तत्व अग्रहण अन्यथा ग्रहणे तुरीये न सिद्ध्यतः न विद्येते न संभवतः इत्यर्थः. So, Karya, Bhaskara explains this, Karya Karana, etc. Of the Karika, he explains this. Kriyate iti Karyam, first. Right? Karya Karana Baddhautau. So, he starts from the very first word of the Karika. Kriyate iti Karyam. Karyam, Kriyate, which is created, which is produced, which is made, etc. is Kriyate iti Karyam. It's a karma vitpatti. Iti phalabhava. Bhashyakara says, Karyam kriyate iti phalabhava. Phalabhava, phala, product. And here what is the product in our case? Twofold misconception. In the waking, the misconception that I am the waker. In dream, the misconception is that I am a dreamer. That is phalam. That is adhyasa. That is karyam. So misconception we can generalize. I am waker, I am dreamer, etc. Right? I am a jiva. So jiva bhava is phalam. So that is the best thing to put that way. Karyam Misconception means Jiva Bhava. Or Adhyasa means Jiva Bhava. Means Jiva is the individual, the sense of individuality is a product. You can understand now. And in a deep sleep state, that Jiva Bhava is no more there. Sata Somya Tada Sampanno Bhavati. Well, Swam Apito Bhavati. Tasya Swapiti iti Nama. Chandogya Upanishad. Describing deep sleep state, it says the deep sleeper is called Swapiti because Swam Apiti. Well, so basically, Swam Apiti. Apiti means it resolves. Swam, Atmanam, Turiyam. So basically, this Sata Somya in Sat. So that not, the word Turiya is not there. There it is a Sat. You know very well. Sadev Somya Damagrasit. So Brahmana, Atma, etc. has a different word there. Sadeva Somya, etc. So Sata Somya, Sadrupena. So basically, this in a deep sleep state, well, this Jiva Bhava is not there. I become one with, well, with the Sat, with the Atma. And therefore, the Sat has no dimension, Atma has no dimension, and so I also feel there is no dimension. But as I wake up, well, I'm a waker, dreamer. So Karyam is there, Jivabhava is there, Adhyasa is there, same thing. So while waking in waking and in dream, there is a Jiva Bhava, Adhyasa is there, Phala Bhava is there, misconception is there. And what is Karanam now? So, Karyam kriyate iti Phala Bhavaha, Karanam karoti iti Bija Bhavaha. Well, so that which produces this effect, right? That which produces Jiva Bhava, that which produces Adhyasa, that which produces misconception, right? So is called what? Karanam, a generator of this effect. And what is producer? Bij Bhava. Bija means a seed. Is always a producer of a tree, Adhyasa, or big Adhyasa. My God. Once he says, I am a waker, right? Once you have that self-awareness that I am a waker, then whole lot. Then there is a karma, karma phala, janma, maranam, and all this our sanchita, and and our prarabdha, and then agami, and then a lot of others, ragadvesha, so many desires are there, and all endowed with threefold power, ichha shakti, kriya shakti, and all. So you see the samsara. For that samsara of of the wakerhood, what is the bija? Ignorance of oneself, ignorance of turiya is the bija. Creates a whole tree. And that is how the whole thing is. In fact, that is the reason why even this Jagat also is there. Yeah, so-called Jagat is from the karma of the jiva, this waker. Yeah. And so samashti karma, then veshti karma. Veshti karma gives you your body and, sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, etc. And of course, vasanas also are there. Both are there, which is there in a seed form in a karana sharira. All your karmas and vasanas in a seed form. That's called karana sharira. Anyway, and then samashti karma. Every jiva contributes. There is, so in community there are all funds, right? You have to give a certain amount of money every month for maintenance, this, that. So that's how the whole community is kept properly. So from your own earning you give partly in form of taxes and these and that also, you can say that. Then they will build infrastructure. They will build roads, these and bridges, and so many things. So the whole world is created from your contribution. So you earn, and most of them for your own purpose, but partly you give. Same thing here. The whole world is created from the jiva's karma only. Some part contribute, every jiva samashti karma. That is how world becomes a cause of joy, happiness as well as unhappiness. That shows that it is from my own karma. So anyway, definitely. So here ignorance is a seed, right? Bija bhava. Tree is a product, adhyasa. So misconception is like a tree, a baker, a dreamer, etc. And prajna is a bija. And Shankaracharya now what Karika is going to use later, Shankaracharya introduces here itself. For this, he introduces another words. Tattva agrahana anyatha grahanabhyam. So, what is the seed or cause? Tattva agrahanam. Agrahanam, ignorance. And so, non-apprehension, as I said. So, agrahanam is a non-apprehension of what? Tattva, the reality of oneself, turiya. So, tattva is turiyam. So, ignorance of turiyam and anyatha grahanam, misunderstanding. Non-understanding, misunderstanding. Non-apprehension, misapprehension. So, non-understanding of tattva, the self, the truth of the self, and anyatha grahanam, misunderstanding of turiya. So, it is tattva. Tattva means which is truth. Truth means which doesn't undergo change. And that doesn't undergo change. Your attention is not there. Your attention is not there. Really speaking, you can appreciate that there is in my vyavahara, well, there is one understanding of myself which doesn't undergo change. Not at all. From the day one to today, maybe number of years have gone. One understanding about yourself has not undergone a change. That's you. Real you. Reality can never be negated. And that I am a conscious being. That is not undergone change. All other things have undergone change, depending upon the state or stage of life, right? State, waker, etc. I am a conscious being, doesn't undergo change. Stage of the life, childhood, this, that has gone. But I am conscious being continues. So I is equal to conscious being. That's a reality. Is equal to consciousness is the reality. That's it. This is the only thing doesn't undergo change. Right? Anyway, so agrahanam, tattva agrahanam, anyatha grahanabhyam. So the seed or the cause is tattva agrahanam, and means ignorance of the turiyam, and anyatha grahanam, misunderstanding of the turiyam. Anyatha, you take it otherwise, that turiya, in form of baker, dreamer. So bija phala bhavabhyam, tattva agrahanam bijam. Tattva anyatha grahanam is phalam, baker, dreamer, etc. Tau yathoktau. Tau is in the mulam, in the Karika, yathoktau. Yathoktau means discussed in this Mandukya. So, Vishwataijasau, yathoktau, the waker and dreamer, which has been discussed in the Upanishad. Baddhau, Sangrahitau, Bhashyakara says, Baddhau is in Mulam. Sangrahitau, Bhashyakara, translate it like that. Conditioned. Baddhau or Sangrahita is equal to conditioned, enclosed, influenced, associated. It's exactly like it's a crystal which is associated with, conditioned with, influenced with a flower which is near that. That's it. You remain crystal, appear as a red or yellow, etc. So right now all of us, right, even though we are clear crystal, that for crystal clear understanding only he has made this Karika. So our understanding should be crystal clear. Yeah. When our understanding will be crystal clear about ourselves, when we say, right now I am a turiya which is which is appearing as the waker. Abba. Which is just appearing as the waker. That's it. This is the magic of the Turiya, to appear as a waker and do the transaction with the waking world. That's it. As a Turiya, the waker and waking world both are in me. The dreamer and the dream world are both there in the waker. Right? Waker alone appear as the dreamer and the dream world. Both resolve into waker. Same way right now, the waker and the waking world basically are none other than Turiya alone. But I don't understand that. Turiya is nirvikalpaha, free from this subject-object. I am basically Turiya, which is nirvikalpa. And I alone appear as the waker in the waking world, alone appear as the dreamer in the dream world, etc. And that's a anyatha grahanam. If I don't understand, it's called anyatha grahanam. What is the anyatha grahanam? Is what? Phalam. What is the cause? Ignorance. Okay. Otherwise, this is fine. Otherwise, you are what? You are Turiya, which is like a very beautiful example is in Swayam Jyoti Brahmana in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of that Matsya, a great fish, very big fish. Ubhe kule sancharatah. Yeah. Mahamatsya ubhe kule sancharatah. And sometime remain in the middle, sometime goes on the one shore of the ocean, sometime go to the other shore of the ocean, unaffected by the attributes of the ocean. What is happening on the shore basically, what is happening on the shore, the Mahamatsya, this great shark, is unaffected. Sometime remain in the middle. Both the shores are nothing but waking state and deep sleep state. Sometime in the middle, that is a dream state. Neither waker, neither deep sleep, right? That's a dream state. So just more. Yajnavalkya says, gives an example of every individual. Really speaking, when the example for the Turiya is this: more freely, unaffected by anything. Just so that's a whole waking state. This is how waking state will become a joy, unaffected by anything. Swami, I'm tired of this, my thinking. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of my pressure. I'm tired of stress. Tired and tired and tired. Tired of the doership. Tired of this. That's how when you become so tired, you take tablet and go to sleep. Carrying unnecessary load. One person was traveling in that local train in Bombay. And in that there is an arrangement at the end of the train that there are certain compartments where these vendors can also they commute through that. So vendor has a big basket of fruits, and as he entered into this train, one traveler said, and the train started. Then traveler said, "Keep down. Why are you taking this?" Right? At least in a train, let the train carry the load. Why you? So rather than keeping down, he started his story. Oh, because I have become vendor because I did not study this. And the traveler said, I am not asking that. I am saying at least till if you go to Churchgate or anywhere for 1 hour from Borivali you have entered into for 1 hour or etc. Now drop. Let the train carry this load. No. The load of doership, load of enjoyership, which is really not there. If you look into the doership is associated with the waker. Where is the doership? When you become one with the Turiya, Sata Sumya Sada Sampanno Bhavati. Where is that doership? Where is enjoyership? If you are really doer, then you will be doer in all the 3 states. But you drop. It belongs to the waker or a dreamer. Dreamer also not. Dreamer also basically a little bit experiences. Right? Dreamer has not kartrutva. Anyway, so my point is so much load, so much of load. Really speaking, it's not load of what you do, it's a load of what, whether I will get what I desire by doing this or not. One has a load of an outcome more than one has a load of doing something. You can do as much as you want if you are really becoming free from the concerns of the outcomes. Yeah. So that outcome is basically not in your hand, you carry that load. Yeah, it's a Ishvara's job to give you, keeping with the karma, but you carry. Karmani adhikaraha ma phaleshu. Let the Bhagavan say whatever he wants to say. We will carry the load. Bija phala bhavabhyam. So, which are the seed and sprout? Prajna basically is a bija, and other two are phala. So, tau yathok tau means this in the Moolam, yathok means discussed in the Mandukya, these three. Vishwataijasau, the waker and the dreamer, Baddhau, they are Sangruhitau, they are enclosed, associated. Means Upadhi, I told you. So both of them are Upadhi for the Turiya. Ajnana Upadhi makes Turiya mein Prajna, Adhyasa Upadhi makes Turiya as a Vishwa and Taijasa. One is called Karya Upadhi, right? So in Vishwa Tejasa, you say I am an individual, Jiva. So therefore, that is Adhyasa. So therefore, what is Upadhi? Adhyasa means definitely Upadhi. What is Upadhi? This is a Karya Upadhi. And what is Karana Upadhi? Is basically Ishvara. That is how Prajna and Ishvara are equated. Mantra number 5, mantra number 6 are equated. What is Prajna is Ishvara, because it becomes one. Experientially, they become one. Sangruhitau. Ishyete means they are considered. So it's a common feature of Vishwa and Tejasa, where Prajna is different from both of them. Prajna is just a Karana. Prajnastu. So now Prajnastu to indicate that it is distinct from this Vishwa Tejasa. So Prajnastu basically is Bij Bhavena eva Baddha. Prajna is, the sleeper is Bij Bhavena Baddha, is conditioned by the causal ignorance. Whereas Vishwa and Tejasa are conditioned by the Adhyasa. That is a Karya Upadhi, Adhyasa. Here it is just a Karana Upadhi. Karana Upadhi. So Karana Upadhikaha Ishvara. Karya Upadhikaha Jiva. Same Turiya. With a Karana Upadhi, Ishvara. So that's how you become one with the Ishvara in the deep sleep state. So you can just go through the mantra number 5 and 6. You will find that after discussing Prajna in the mantra 5, immediately in the mantra 6 that Prajna was equated as Sarveshwara, Eshaha. Eshaha Sarveshwara. Eshaha means this. This means what? What has discussed in the mantra number 5. That Prajna is Sarveshwara. Sarvantaryami. Wow. So Prajna and Ishvara are one. And definitely, because it resolves into Ishvara. When Adhyasa is there, you take yourself different form. Adhyasa. Well, I am different. Ishvara is different. When that, Adhyasa resolves, it resolves into its Karana called Ajnana. And definitely you become Karana Ishvara. So Prajna, the sleeper, Bij Bhavena Baddha, is conditioned by only causal ignorance. Baddha, conditioned. And what is Bij Bhava, that causal factor? Tattva apratibodha matrameva hi bijam. So Tattva apratibodham, ignorance of the reality. Ignorance of the reality is the bijam, the cause. Prajnatvi nimittaha, which serves as a upadhi. Nimitta means upadhi, which serves as a upadhi for the prajna. So, tattva apratibodha, the ignorance of oneself, well, that alone is the bijam, that alone is the upadhi for the prajna. That's it. And that, so prajna is conditioned by what? Ignorance. And what ignorance? Ignorance of oneself. Tattva apratibodha. And further discussion is there regarding this ignorance uh, of the turiya, ignorance of the atma. Regarding there is some discussion is there in Advaiti. Means Advaitis basically fight within themselves. What is the nature of this ignorance? Yeah, ignorance means basically it is a jnana bhava. It's the absence of the knowledge, or ignorance is which is opposed to the knowledge. There are two different contentions are there, which we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.